Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates episodes 119 to 121. So, we start off Monday's episode with Martin and Samantha at the launch party, and they're just basically talking about her being able to do school and do the launch party and not falling behind. Be the brand ambassador and not falling behind and all of that. So he's like talking about how he's proud of her, and then she's proud of herself because she's able to do it, and everything is working out the way that she wants it to work out, so that she can be able to become a full-time model. So as they're talking, they're wondering. Well, Martin is wondering where Chelsea is, and Samantha was just like, "Oh, Um, you should see when Chelsea gets ready. It's like a whole ordeal or something like that. So she wouldn't worry too much about it." So we then go to, and I'm just gonna like I normally do. I'm gonna just be skipping around and jumping here and there, here and two for whatever, because yeah, that's how we're gonna do it, like we normally do. So with the okay, so we get to everyone's at Anita and Vernon's house, and Madison is on the phone, and she's calling Chelsea, asking her, like, where were you at? You said you weren't trying to be on Kat's bad side. Everyone's looking for you. And she gets off the phone with her, and she's starting to get worried because she's just like, where's Chelsea? So we then see them all well, Madison and Kat are trying to call her, and Kat is just like, it's going straight to voicemail, and now her voicemail is empty. And so what else happens? Yeah, so she's just like, it's the voicemail is empty. Then they get it's going, I'm not empty, it's full. um so they get a notification that Chelsea sent out, like, I think it was like one of those, it was a pre-recorded video, basically. She did it right before, like, I can't. They don't show when she did it, but it was a pre-recorded video, basically. So they're all like, okay, now they're starting to get worried. So Naomi says she's going to call Jacob. Anita tells Nicole to go to the club to do damage control, and she's just like, "Well, Martin's there. I'll text him and tell him like what's going on." So she texts Martin, and Martin is just like, "Okay." He doesn't know. Like, he gets the message, and he's just like, "Oh," he was just like, "What should I do?" And she was like, stall, I guess, or whatever. So he starts to talk to Samantha, and he asked her about some boy that was checking her out, and she was like being mum's the word, and he was just like, "Hey, our deal is, if you tell us the whole truth and nothing but the truth, then we can let you date." And she was just like, "He hasn't asked me out yet." And then now she smiles about it or whatever, and then he like tells her, there's dangers in this world, and he just wants to protect her, and X, Y, and Z. And then he tells her, "Hey, Martin is I mean, not Martin, Chelsea is missing." And she doesn't like she's missing, and they're worried, basically. So Samantha is just like, oh snap, like it's serious or whatever. So later on, Martin gets a call from Nicole telling him that Chelsea is officially a missing person, and they need to cancel the launch party per Cat's order, and to tell them the truth so that they can get the word out. So so then that's all of Martin and Samantha. So we're at the Grand's we're at the Grand's house, and Naomi, she calls Jacob, and Jacob comes over, and they're trying to figure out who took Chelsea. And Madison tells them about Allison. So she's just like, that's who did it. Everybody else isn't too sure about it, because they're just like, she has a bunch of fans, and they're not sure if Allison is the one. And Madison is adamant, no, that it's Allison. And she's just like, it's Allison. It has to be Allison. So Kat goes, because Kat, at this point, Kat had already went to to their studio guest house or whatever they're wherever they're staying. She went to go look for Chelsea, and she told Madison to stay there in case Chelsea comes to the house. So she goes. Jacob comes, and then Jacob is just like, okay, we put it out as a missing person, and it's been put out to everyone in the like all the police officers in the DMV or Virginia, and then and in the surrounding areas or whatever. So he goes. He was just like, okay, so I need to go get a search warrant so that I can search the place and all this other stuff. So he goes to the studio, and he runs into Kat, and Kat's just like, man, I already looked, and I didn't see anything, and I came back because I thought she was here because I heard something. So she came back, and she's getting worried. And then so he said he found her. He found Kat's phone. I mean, yeah, no, Chelsea's phone, and it's just like Chelsea would never leave her phone. So that's why they're like, okay, yeah, she's officially a missing person. So he tells Kat to look around the house and see if there's anything that's looks out of place or that's different. So she's looking, and she's just like, oh my God, I see her hairbrush. She would never leave this out. X, Y, and Z. I was just like, okay, with the hairbrush, but okay, whatever. So he was just like, okay, well, he was just like, I need to get into her phone. And she's just like, I have her password. So they go through her phone. Um, yeah, they go through her phone, and they're like looking for stuff to see if there's anything that's out of the ordinary. Kat gives she was this a part? I think this is, and I may be running them together, but he turns over the phone, and then she was just like, I still need the phone. And he was just like, well, I can't give it to you because it's evidence now. And then she remembers that she has Chelsea's iPad, which she syncs everything with. So they go back to Vernon and Anita's place, and kat shares um Kat shares Chelsea's password with the family, so everyone is going through her social media to see if there's anything that like pops out at anyone. um like, yeah, to see if anything that's popped out to anyone to make them see like, okay, this is what it may be. So they're going through her phone and looking through her socials. Danny is worried because she's just like, I can't believe that Chelsea would be late to this event of all things. She's never been late to any of her events, any of her modeling gigs, and this is like her baby. So she can't believe that she would be late for this. So she gets a text from Bill asking to see where everybody's at, because initially they were all going over to Anita and Vernon's house to do the toast, like they do their family toast or whatever. So she was just like, oh my God, I got to call him. So she calls him and tells him, like, she was just like, oh, I thought Chelsea was there. And he was just like, no, she's not here. And he was just like, she was like, our baby is missing. And he was just like, I'm on my way. So he goes to the house, and they're hugging. And he was just like, he tells them, like, he tells Danny, like, I'm gonna find her. And Danny was just like, do whatever you gotta do. And she was just like, if you have to scorch the earth, you better bring her home. And he was just like, done. So we finally see Chelsea, and when I tell you, this whole week has been a doozer. It's been so good. It really has been really, really good, to me at least. So we finally see Chelsea. She's chained up to the bed, and she's trying to reach. She like gets up, and she sees the phone, and she's trying to reach for a phone, and she can't get to it. And then she sits down, and she like has a daydream. So her first daydream that she has is with Danny, and Danny is just basically telling her, work your angles. You know who it is. You need to like do what you got to do, and use what I taught you to get out of this. So she wakes up, and she was just like, Allison, I know it's you. So Allison comes in, and Allison is just like, oh my God, I knew we were meant to be, da, 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 all this other stuff. And it was just like, girl, is you okay? No, you're not. But Allison is a mess. So they go to like, and again, we're skipping back and forth. So Chelsea has another daydream, and it's with Kat, and Kat chastises her, basically saying, all the you don't know how to pick a lock with all these handcuffs that you be using, like you should learn how to pick a lock by now. So Kat lets her know that she has more power than she thinks, and she needs to dig into her modeling days, and her mind is a powerful tool. So each daydream that she's having is giving her like, it's supposed to give her like that confidence and that, let her know you need to do X, Y, and Z to be able to get out of this situation. So she comes out of that daydream and Allison is there and she's trying to sweet talk her, and Chelsea is just like, girl, you ruined my big night. Like, why would you do this to me? Like, if you love me like you say, like, why would you ruin this for me? And Allison is just like, oh, it's okay, like, you'll do. It's like, this is just like, it is what it is. And Chelsea's just like, my family's gonna come and find me, X, Y, and Z. And Allison is just like, oh, I already have that covered. I gave them your number one fan, Edith. So she basically she put another profile together about somebody who's her number one fan, and she like times it so that the family will get the message of this Edith person or whatever. And they did get the message, and they were just like, who the hell is Edith? Like, where did this come from? And this is like, and Madison at this point is just like, no, it's Allison. It's nobody else. It's Allison. And they're just like, well, maybe it's this person. So when Chelsea looks into it, she was just like, it can't be, because this profile was just open a month ago. Anybody who's a true Chelsea fan has been her fan for a minute. So no, this can't be it. And so Addison is just like, it's Allison. It's Allison. So we Chelsea was Allison was just like, we're meant to be. And then Chelsea was just like, if we were meant to be, why did you break up with me? Why did you break my heart? Like, you're not making sense. Like, what is this? Like, which again didn't make sense or whatever. And Chelsea has another daydream with Bill, and she runs to him and she's just like, me and Madison are dating, and da, 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 da. So she basically, in her dream, she's telling him, she comes out to her dad or whatever. And he was just like, you don't have to, like, you don't hide who you are, use that Bill, use that Hamilton charisma. And if that doesn't work, then you need to put into them self-defense classes that I taught you, uppercut side or whatever, however he told her or whatever. And so she comes out of that daydream, and Allison is still there. She had set the table for them. I think she was this a part. No, Allison is there, and then Allison tells her, no, yeah, I think this is when Allison told her to close her eyes, and that's when she has a daydream of Bill. And then when she opens her eyes, Allison had set the table for them to do lunch, to do dinner or whatever. So she went to, I don't know if it was Uptown or Orphe Jeans, and she got her favorites, and she has the food like all out for her, and it's just like, um, X, Y, and Z. And then what's it called? Let's see. Allison tells her she's her number one fan. She knows everything about her. She's been studying her this whole time. She lists off all of Chelsea's likes and accolades and all this other stuff. And while she's doing that, Chelsea closes her eyes, and she has another daydream, and it's from Anita. And Anita is telling her it's gonna be okay. We're coming for you. You know, she needs to remember who she is, and it's gonna be all right. So she's smiling. So when she opens her eyes, Allison is just like, "What's so funny? Why are you smiling?" And what did she say? Chelsea, Allison starts to like talk about some of the stuff that Chelsea has only told so many people. Like, there was, I think she had said something about Milan, and that was when Chelsea and Madison were talking. I think that was when Chelsea and Madison had first met. So she had told her about Milan, and she was just like, "How do you know about that? I've only told one person." And she was just like, "Cause I'm always around." So clearly, this girl has been following her this whole time. And it's just like, oh wow, like I did not know this is where they were going with this story, but it is so good. I really like this story. It's like the Allison, the lady who I need to I want to say her name is Brianna Roberts, but I could be wrong. I'm gonna look it up. But when I tell you, she is doing the thing. Oh gosh, she is doing a thing. Her, like, everyone is putting their foots in this. Let me see what this lady's name is. Oh, can I find it? Let me see. I cannot find it. Let me see. I gotta. What is her name? Brianna Roberts. So it is Brianna Roberts. She is doing a thing. Like she really is doing a thing. She is really doing a thing. I really like her. Madison also, I think her name is what is her name? Madison, what is her name? What is her name? Kenja. I think I could be pronouncing it wrong. But Kenjaa, she had me in my feels. Like she had me in my feels this week. Also, where is she? Ronnie Rose, man, she doing a thing too. So, anyways, back to the show. So, she come when she comes to and she tells her like, "How do you know about this?" And she was just like, "Cause I'm always around. I know everything about you." Chelsea is just like, okay. So then she has another daydream and is with Madison, and Madison calms her down because Chelsea starts to have a panic attack, and Madison calms her down. She was just like, "Tell me 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can feel, like tangible." And she was just like, "You're going to be okay. We're coming for you. You got this." And she just like, basically calms her down or whatever. Um, so they, what's it called? They like in this scene when she had that daydream with Madison, I was just like, okay, this is my couple. I like them as a couple. I was just like, I really like Madison and Chelsea. They were so cute. So they're my new couple. But whatever. So when Chelsea opens her eyes, she sees that Allison has put out she's actually put the food out. So she tells her like, come on, let's toast X, Y, and Z. So they go sit down. She makes her sit down. So they're sitting at the table, and Allison gets ready to do the toast, and Chelsea was just like, "No, let me." And she just like basically reads her for film, and then throws the wine, like tosses the wine in her face. And Allison was just like, "Oh my God, why would you do that?" And da 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 da. And then Chelsea kicks the table over of all the food, and tell what's it called? Yeah, she kicks the table over, and then Allison snatches her by the hand, and she was just like, "You're trying to ruin this, and I'm the only one that decides how this is gonna end." And then that's how Monday's episode ends. So it was just like, ooh, this is so good. It is really, really good. I am like, when I tell you this episode, like, we like from watching last week, we knew Allison, like just from the buildup, we knew Allison was gonna do something crazy. When we saw that somebody was gonna kidnap Chelsea, we knew it was gonna be Allison. But the fact that Allison has been crazy this whole time, and it was just like, where did this come from? And then to find out the backstory, as we're gonna find out through the rest of the week, like, oh wow, like, oh, you is really, something is really wrong with you. So good. Give me 1 second. Hey guys, so I started this video wanting to do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but I had stopped on Monday's episode because I had to go do something. And then I came back and recorded Tuesday and Wednesday's episode. And then when I put them together, I saw that it was over an hour long. So I just went ahead and decided to split it up into 2 separate parts. So the first part is just going to be Monday's episode as opposed to what I said in the intro, but part 2 will be coming out, which will be Tuesday and Wednesday's episode, and then I'll come back with Thursday and Friday's episode. So as always, if you like what you see, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. And also get down in the comments and let me know what you thought about Crazy Allison. Well, the whole show, but yeah, let me know. See you guys in the next one.